India is in mourning today. It's a familiar feeling. You've seen faces flashed across your screen for the last 36 hours. 4 Indian soldiers, 3 of them just in their 20s, including an officer, have died in unprovoked firing in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri sector on the line of control. Take a look at these pictures. Remember, we'd like to tell ourselves that we must never forget these faces. But you and I both know the truth, ladies and gentlemen. We will be forgetting these faces very soon. Captain Kapil Kundu, Rifleman Ram Avatar, Rifleman Shubham Sharma and Havaldar Roshan Lal. They made the supreme military sacrifice while defending this country of ours. The martyrs' families have lauded the bravehearts for their valor in their grief and demanded that Pakistan not be allowed to go unpunished. Well, one of the fallen heroes who has somehow just become the face of this fresh action by Pakistan, the very young Captain Kapil Kundu, was just 6 days short of turning 23 when Pakistani shells killed him. At the age of 22, the Army's 15 J&K Light Infantry officer, Captain Kapil Kundu, made the supreme sacrifice. A pall of gloom has descended on his village, not very far from the national capital. But as tears roll down, the family says they couldn't have been more proud of him. And this is an irony you will see in the families of all heroes, a mixture of grief and pride.
December 2016, the happiness, the jubilation, when a newly commissioned Lieutenant Kundu returned to his hometown in Haryana. Laden with garlands, the pride of his village. On the 10th of February this year, a similar welcome would have awaited him. When Captain Kapil Kundu would have celebrated his 23rd birthday with his family.
आने के लिए उसने सरप्राइज रखा हुआ था और हम भी उसके लिए उसका बर्थडे सरप्राइज प्लान कर रहे थे. वो 10 को आने वाला था, 10 को उसका बर्थडे था.
But now it's going to be a different homecoming. The final journey after Captain Kundu was felled by Pakistan's treachery. In 2012, Captain Kundu joined the National Defence Academy when he was only in class 12. 4 years later, he returned a hero.
मैं तो उसको IIT में भेजना चाहती थी, लेकिन हमने ये सोचा कि ले अपना तैयारी कर रहा है. उसने एनडीए का पेपर दिया, वो सिलेक्ट हो गया. उसने उसको अच्छा लगा, कहने लगा मम्मी मैं इस फील्ड में जाऊंगा. जाओ बेटा फील्ड में, कोई बात नहीं.
सेलेक्ट हुआ था, पूरा ड्रम्स के साथ, फ्लैग्स के साथ, बच्चे का स्लोगन्स के साथ वेलकम किया था. इसी रास्ते से, इसी रोड से हम उनको ग्रेट प्राइड के साथ लेके आए थे. स्कूल में भी अच्छा सेलिब्रेट किया था, सारे बच्चों को इतना इंस्पिरेशन था वो.
Kundu's social media profile speaks volumes about his unbreakable spirit. For Captain Kundu, life truly was big. As the nation lauds the fallen hero, the family has only one request. Don't forget his supreme sacrifice.
बस याद रखें, भूल लेना. याद रखें, भूलते बहुत जल्दी हैं.
The last memory that Captain Kundu's family has of him is that of a smiling young man. It was this smile he wore as he embraced martyrdom. Gone too soon. With Ilma Hassan, in Patodi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And with the greatest amount of sensitivity, India Today's reporters have been bringing you the story of the grief and the pride from the Patodi village, not very far from Delhi, where the family of Captain Kundu is in inconsolable sorrow. but also with a great sense of pride. We've also got our top reporters on India's frontier, the line of control with Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Gaurav Sawant, our executive editor, also our executive editor, internal security, Meetu Jain, also on the line of control. Gaurav, coming to you first. A ferocious provocation by Pakistan. India is in mourning today. There are going to be questions asked from every side at this point. But the immediate situation, Gaurav, where you are right now, the mood on the ground after this horrific provocation from Pakistan, where you are.
Shiv, I'm at the Nowshera LOC, and this has been one of the fiercest LOCs all through last year. Ceasefire violations repeatedly took place here at the Nowshera LOC. I'm at one village, Shiv, where there is anger,
yes,
there is anguish, but there is also the firm belief that the army's resolve to strike bad and strike hard remains. Here, people have seen this pain. Lieutenant Kundu, Captain Kundu's family's pain. Several villagers here feel that pain because villagers have lost their lives, they've lost property, they've lost animal. They know what Pakistan's ceasefire violations mean much more than most across the country. And people here are confident that there will be a strike back at a place and time of the army's choosing. Shiv, I've also spoken to several commanders on ground, and they say there has been an escalation. Pakistan, and you understand the kind of escalation we are seeing on ground. Small arms to automatics, from automatics to 61 mm, and then now 120 mm mortars being used by Pakistan, targeting not just military areas but also civilian areas. And we'll talk about that in greater detail subsequently. Shiv, I'm at a village where house after house has been destroyed, where the administration has now had to construct bunkers for people to live, where schools are shut, children cannot go, where farms like the ones behind me, there is no agriculture, no cultivation, because there's shelling going on more often than not, Shiv.
Absolutely, there's shelling still going on, and that really is the point. It's the most unimaginable of contrasts. Remember, you turn on your television today, ladies and gentlemen, across news channels, you're going to see the faces you see on your screen. All young, incredibly young soldiers and officers of the Indian Army who've made the supreme sacrifice because Pakistan wants to try and escalate tensions on the line of control. It's a ceasefire line where this activity is taking place. Meetu Jain is also with us. She's also on the line of control. A cycle of violence that is seemingly non-stop. Meetu, what is the situation in the sector where you're at right now? Because the people of India will want to know how these deaths, these killings of our soldiers in this ceasefire violation is affecting the preparedness and morale of our brothers in arms on the soldier, on the border and the line of control. Because after all, Meetu, these are humans too.
Well, the motto of the Indian Army at the moment, if I may be allowed to change it, is life should be big and not long. Well, that was the emotions and the feelings of the Jawan, of the officer who actually became a martyr. But at the moment, that is the feeling of all officials and Jawans of the Indian Army who are saying that they would be giving a befitting reply. We do expect some action to take place, which part of the line of control will flare up, one can't say. But yes, at the moment, the situation is very tense. In fact, at some places, one can say it's a bit of a warlike situation, one can say here. But I would say, Shiv, if you look at the downside of this, this intermittent war that's going on between India and Pakistan, the point is that the casualties are actually the villagers. I've just visited one of the camps where actually people have been staying here for the past 1 year, and they say that they've never seen this kind of ceasefire violations taking place ever. And remember, we are talking to villagers who've been staying here for 60, 70, 80 years, and they say they've been staying here for generations. Some of them say that they've never seen this kind of ceasefire violation. The moment they try to to go back to their villages. They are forced to return to these camps. They've become refugees in their own homes overnight. So essentially they're saying that they're getting no rations, there's no way of sending their children to school. Remember, all schools in a 5-kilometer radius of the border are actually all shut, and where getting any kind of help and relief is concerned, they have to work in the local areas to kind of make ends meet. It's a situation which is going out of control, and the sentiments are also actually really rising. People are really fed up. The Indian Army, of course, we are waiting for some kind of a retaliation, but how long will this retaliation continue? That is the question.
Okay, the retaliation, the retribution for what has happened, this is an emotional time for us as Indians, for us as civilians, but as Gaurav and Meetu are reporting for the Indian Army, this is another day on the job. This is life and death. This is simply another day on the job. The brother officers, the brother soldiers of the 4 men you saw on your screen just now do not have the luxury to grieve, ladies and gentlemen. They are at the line of control, not very far from where Meetu and Gaurav are reporting, as you can see them right now. They do not have the luxury to sit down and cry for the loss of their comrades. They've got a job to do because Pakistan's shells are continuing to land. Take a look at this report that Gaurav just sent us from the line of control.
Pakistani ceasefire violation has affected life in this area. We are flying to Rajouri, Bimbargali, Manjakot, some of the worst affected areas in recent ceasefire violations by Pakistan, which have affected both civilian lives and lives of security forces. At this point of time, what we know is 1 army captain and 4 soldiers, including 4 soldiers, they were martyred in Pakistani ceasefire violations. Now, but shells are also falling in civilian areas, in Bimbargali, in Manjakot, in Punch, in Rajouri, along those areas, and life has been affected. We will continue to get you ground reports from there, where a large number of people have had to be evacuated, and schools along the affected border belt have been shut down. Cameraman Kirpal Singh in Rajouri, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
And as our reporters on the line of control are reporting right now, the situation is still very tense. India may be grieving the loss of those 4 soldiers, but there are countless civilians in villages dotting the line of control who are still under threat. They don't have access to rations, their children can't go to school, they live under a direct cloud of threat from Pakistan's non-stop shelling in that area. Take a look at what the Deputy Commissioner in the restive Rajouri area where the ceasefire violation took place, Shahid Chaudhry, told us just a short while ago.
With me is Shahid Chaudhry, the District Magistrate of Rajouri. Mr. Chaudhry, what's the latest along the LC at this point of time?
In fact, this ceasefire violation goes on intermittently, and for the last 1 week we are facing a quite terrible situation along 120 kilometers line of control. It's been there quite huge since yesterday afternoon, and we have lost 4 army men also. And entire population in 70 villages. We have around 72,000 population it's affected. Recently we had established 5 relief camps also, where we shifted around 4,100 people, and right now as a precautionary measure we have closed all 84 schools in 0 to 1 kilometer from line of control. We are taking precautionary measures. We are with people also, we are coordinating with them for any likely evacuation, and we are taking care of their requirements also.
We're getting live images right now here on 5 Live of the mortal remains of the army heroes that have just landed in Samba near Jammu. These are live images coming in there. The family of Havildar Roshan Lal, the oldest of the 4 army men who lost their lives in the ceasefire violation yesterday in Bimbargali, has arrived in Samba near Jammu. These are pictures of Havildar Roshan Lal's family. Let's listen in. Let's listen in. As we put these pictures up on your screen for you, and let me remind you once again, these are live pictures of the family of Havildar Roshan Lal receiving his mortal remains in Samba before it is taken to their native village. I want to bring Gaurav Sawant back in. Gaurav, you know, as we watch these pictures, as we watch these live pictures of Havildar Roshanlal's mortal remains being received by his grieving family, and these are truly heart-rending images of that inconsolable family, Gaurav. Take us through the precise nature of this ceasefire violation, Gaurav. How was it so destructive? What were the weapons that were used, and how was the casualty figure so high?
Shiv, you and I have both covered multiple operations along the line of control, and this happened in the Balakot sector. Now, you know this entire axis very well. We know the Poonch, Rajouri, Mender, Bimber Gali, this entire belt very well, all the way down to Naushera and then Akhnur and then the international border. So all along, Pakistan for the past 1 year has repeatedly been violating ceasefire using small arms, automatics, the mortars at times, but this time we're told that missiles were used. Now, when we say missiles, what do we mean? Well, sources in the army say that this was a precision fighting, guided anti-tank guided missile that was used. It was used in a bunker buster mode. There have been certain, engagements along the LC. India has been punishing Pakistan, and this was Pakistan, using some of their troops who violated the LC and precisely targeted one of our posts.
Yes.
Which unfortunately this damage where we lost this brave youngster and 3 other Jawans who had been kept there to keep an eye on Pakistani infiltration and ceasefire violations. They were targeted by the Pakistan army.
They were targeted by the Pakistan army, anti-tank weapons in bunker buster mode. These are weapons that are specifically used to escalate tensions. I must tell you once again, because viewers, readers, people from around the world constantly ask, there's no smoke without a fire. Why would Pakistan do this without being provoked? Well, that is the nature of the beast. It has always been, without exception, every single ceasefire violation that has taken place on the line of control so far has been by Pakistan firing the first shot. India has only ever fired in retaliation, and it is perhaps due to that policy also. And remember, India is a democracy. We respect the line of control and the ceasefire line and the ceasefire agreement, and therefore not a bullet flies first from India's side. But from Pakistan, this is the consequence. As you look at those pictures of Havildar Roshanlal's family receiving his mortal remains, I want to now show you our conversation. This report by our Jammu Bureau Chief Ashwini Kumar, who met with and reported from the site where Havildar Roshanlal's family was waiting for his remains.
I am in the Samba sector. This is a place where you can see that family is mourning, and they got the report that Havildar Roshanlal is no more, and he was a good fighter, and continuously he killed number of militants in the Kashmir Valley in Baramulla area. We have with us his son. Beta, kya naam hai aapka?
My name is Avinandan, Uncle Ji.
Why your father has told you number of bravery things? What he has said?
He had taught me that he had faced such a problem in Baramulla sector.
How many terrorists he killed?
I don't know, he don't tell me how much, but he tell me we have faced so much difficulties at the Baramulla.
We have with him, we will just ask him, kya banna chahte ho?
I want to become an Indian officer.
Why?
I want to shoot the 10 peoples of Pakistan.
He want to shoot 10 people of Pakistan. We have with him his brother Laji. आपका नाम?
रमेश लाल शर्मा.
बिलाजी, उड़ी में क्या किया उन्होंने?
ये पहले तो आरआर में रहे. इनकी ज़्यादा टफ नौकरी जो है ये एंड के में की. तो पहले तो इन्होंने आरआर में ऑपरेशनों में बहुत ज़्यादा हिस्सा लिया. उसके बाद जब उड़ी में जो इन्होंने मिलिटेंटों ने अटैक किया तो वहाँ पर इसने बहुत इसकी जो क्वालिटी थी बहुत अच्छा पार्ट प्ले किया और मिलिटेंटों को मार गिराया. उसके बाद ये उधर थे, इनकी जुमट जो थी रजौरी के अंदर एक जगह गंभीर पड़ती है. तो तकरीबन ये जो थे बॉर्डर पार ही रहते थे, तो बॉर्डर पार ही ड्यूटी करते थे. ये बड़ा ही मिलनसार और बहुत ही बहादुर था. हमें प्राउड है कि ये देश के काम आया. हमें वो मिलेगा तो नहीं, कभी बच्चों को नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन आज जितना हिंदुस्तान है जो देशभक्त हैं आज उसको नमन कर रहे हैं, उसको याद कर रहे हैं. तो हमें उस पर गर्व है कि उसने अपनी जान जो है वो देश के लिए दे दी है.
The family is proud that Roshanlal has sacrificed his life for the sake of the country. His son said, I will kill 10 Pakistanis who has martyred my father on the line of control. He is one of the brave soldiers of Indian Army who killed number of terrorists in the OD sector also. Ashwini Kumar in Samba sector.
Remember that the relatives, the son, the families of these heroes, it's unimaginable for most of us to even think of what they might be going through at this time. It is an incredible understatement to say that it is just an emotional time for those families, and our reporters will continue to report with the utmost sensitivity at this very difficult time for them. But how the families of martyrs, of military martyrs, the heroes who make the supreme sacrifice on the line of control, like the 4 young men who just laid down their life, how did they cope with the loss? How do they react? What are the questions in their minds? What kind of questions do they want answered? What would they like to see happen going forward? Havildar Roshan Lal laid down his life fighting the Pakistani forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri on Sunday. Captain Kapil Kundu, just 22 years old, was the only officer. He lived in the same place in that ceasefire violation. Preeti Chaudhary is in Patodi village, not very far from Delhi, where the family and the entire community in which young Captain Kundu grew up has been in shock for the last couple of days. Preeti, it's over to you. It's unimaginable. We've seen heart-rending scenes of not just his family, but his school principal, relatives and friends who remember this young officer, Preeti.
You know, Shiv, to give you a brief of where I am, I'm at the Ransika village, which is about 20 kilometers off Patodi. And for all our viewers who've ever had any association with the army and a village would know what this means today, what this loss means for this village. Captain Kundu's mother and sister are inside. They're in no state to talk. They spoke to us early today, and what they did say was that of course they're extremely proud. It's yet to sink in. The mother said she wanted another surgical strike to avenge the blood of her 22-year-old son. But I'll just ask Anil, my camera person, to give you a little perspective on what I said before and what it actually means to a village. Every member of this village, Shiv, is right now outside this house. I'll ask Anil to show you the number of people that have gathered here. It's and it's a sea, Shiv, because everybody is awaiting the mortal remains of Captain Kundu. The cremation ground is just about 4 kilometers from here. But everyone here waiting for the mortal remains of Captain Kundu to come. I have with me, Shiv, friends. I have Captain Kundu's younger brother. He's first cousin. I have these young boys here. All of them want to join the army. I just want to tell our viewers, Shiv, in this entire village, Captain Kundu was the first officer.
Yes.
Any village would know what it means when an officer gets commissioned. There have been 20 men from here who have joined the Indian Army, but Captain Kundu was the first officer. Those pictures tell a tale, Shiv, when Captain Kundu came here after passing out and after actually becoming a captain. And these young boys here, all of them want to join the army. कितने साल के हैं?
मैम 22
साल।
यस मैम।
आप सब आर्मी के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं?
हाँ जी।
आपके बड़े भाई थे?
हाँ जी, मेरे बड़े भाई थे, कपिल कुंडू।
आपके बड़े भाई थे। आप आर्मी के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं?
हाँ जी, मैं भी आर्मी के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा हूँ।
21 साल के थे जब कैप्टन बने, 22 साल में शहीद हुए और अभी 26 दिन में 23 बर्थडे था उनका। आप लोगों से क्या बात होती थी उनकी? क्या कहते थे आपको?
हमें यही कहते थे, भाई तुम भी कुछ करो, पढ़ो, देश के लिए तुम भी कुछ काम करो, जिससे हमारा भी नाम हो।
अभी भी आर्मी ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं ये सब देखकर?
देखो जी, ये देखकर मेरे अंदर और भी जोश आ गया है। अब तो भाई की कुर्बानी को बेकार नहीं जाने देंगे और इसके लिए कुछ करके दिखाना है। अब
आप लोग अभी भी ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं?
हाँ, बिल्कुल। अगर ऐसी चीज़ें देखते हैं तो अंदर मोटिवेशन तो वैसे भी हो जाता है। ये तो जरूरी नहीं है कि मतलब अगर ऐसा देखे तो बैकअप कर जाए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
जो शहादत है, ये जो मार्टरडम है, आपको लगता है आपको ये इंस्पिरेशन देगी?
हाँ, बिल्कुल इंस्पिरेशन देगी। ऐसी चीज़ें देख के तो वैसे जोश और जुनून जग जाता है कि अब तो और भी ज़्यादा क्रेज हो जाएगा आर्मी और डिफेंस के लिए बच्चों का कि हाँ।
आप लोग थे जब पिछले साल कैप्टन कुंडू जब कैप्टन की रैंक में थे, जब आए थे यहाँ पे थे आप?
जी, हम सभी यहीं पे थे। बहुत अच्छी तरह से मनाया गया था। उसके सभी आसपास के गांव भी यहाँ पे सभी दोस्त हम सारे एक साथ ही थे। बहुत अच्छी तरीके से मनाया गया। हमें ये नहीं पता था कि इसके साथ इतनी जल्दी ये सब कुछ हो जाएगा। उससे बहुत उसके अंदर हर चीज़ का बहुत अच्छा जुनून था। आगे से आगे बढ़ने की हरदम कोशिश करता रहता था, हमें भी मोटिवेट करता था कि आगे से कुछ नया सोचने के लिए ज़रूर कहा करता था उसे, लेकिन ये नहीं पता था कि इतनी जल्दी हमारा साथ छोड़ जाएगा।
इस पूरे गांव में पहले ऑफिसर रहे हैं कैप्टन कुंडू?
रहे हैं, बाकी आसपास के इलाके में भी कोई नहीं रहा कैप्टन पे, फर्स्ट कैप्टन।
पहले यहाँ पे ऑफिसर पहले बने हैं और जो बाकी जो 20 हैं वो आर्मी में भर्ती हुए हैं?
नहीं, वो पहले से हैं, बट फर्स्ट कैप्टन है भैया। हाँ, फर्स्ट कैप्टन है ओवरऑल।
कैसे याद रखना चाहोगे इसको आगे, क्योंकि ये कैमरा बंद हो जाएगा, ये फ्लैशलाइट चली जाएगी, हम चले जाएंगे, आप लोग कैसे याद रखना चाहोगे शहीद कपिल कुंडू, कैप्टन कपिल कुंडू?
देखो जी, हम ये चाहते हैं कि उसकी कुर्बानी बेकार नहीं जानी चाहिए, उसकी नहीं, किसी भी जवान भाइयों की कुर्बानी बेकार नहीं जानी चाहिए। मेरी मोदी जी से
उसकी समाधि बनाएंगे अभी तो। हाँ जी, उनके आते जाते हम बिल्कुल उनको याद रखेंगे। हर आदमी हमारे पूरे एरिया में उसका अलग से नाम रोशन हम जरूर करेंगे।
You know, Shiv, there's a certain amount of bravado where youth is concerned. These are 22, 21-year-old men, extremely angry. You heard this young boy, his younger brother say कि जो शहादत है वो जाने नहीं देंगे बेकार भैया की. So all I'd like to, you know, and there's a certain amount of resilience which comes with the youth. You know, is it echoed by the older lot who've seen generations of this? आप सब लोगों ने यहाँ पर देखा है, आप बुजुर्ग हैं, कपिल को आप जानते थे, बिल्कुल जानते थे। अब कैसा लगता है आपको? अभी 21 में वो कैप्टन बने, 22 में शहादत हो गई।
बिल्कुल।
क्या चाहते हैं, क्या हो इसके पीछे?
इसके पीछे पाकिस्तान को मार देनी चाहिए। उसको बुरी तरह मोदी जी को कह रहे हैं कि इनको मारो बुरी तरह से। अपने रोज के जवान मर रहे हैं और उनका एक भी नहीं।
हमारे अंदर भी ताकत आ रही है, बहुत ताकत आ रही है कि हमने जाकर के दूसरे खड़े कर दे। ये बच्चे 2-3 साल में बनते हैं और 2-3 साल बाद दूसरे ने शहीद होकर के वापस आ जाते हैं। इकलौता लड़का था, हमें बड़ा भारी दुख है। हमें बहुत दूर से आए हैं, हमें बड़ा भारी दुख हुआ। सुबह से से हम बड़े बेचैन हैं देखने के लिए। बड़े
मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ मैडम, आप सुबह से बार 24 चैनल हैं जो पूरे परिवार को, रिश्तेदारों को तंग कर रहे हैं। मैं सबसे पहले आपसे एक बात पूछना चाहता हूँ
सर। हमारे चैनल में अंदर नहीं गए ना, हमने आपकी
नहीं, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ।
जी बताएं, आप बताएं।
ये बताओ, जनरल डायर को किसने मारा था और कहाँ मारा था? ऐसे खुली छूट हमें मिलनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना?
आपको खुली छूट किस चीज के लिए चाहिए?
सरकार सहयोग करे, जब जनरल डायर का बदला हम वहाँ ले सकें लंदन में। ये तो पाकिस्तान है।
आप बदला मांगते हैं?
बिल्कुल।
कैसा बदला मांगते हैं?
अच्छी तरीके से। हमारे एक जवान गया तो कम से कम 50 चाहिए हमें।
पर वो तो कह रहे हैं मर रहे हैं सर वहाँ पर।
कौन
कह रहे हैं कि जो कह रहे हैं जो
आप मान रहे हो?
नहीं सर, जो कह रहे हैं
बदला लो साहब।
जितने हमारे जा रहे हैं उधर से ज्यादा जा रहे हैं।
और फिर हमसे ज्यादा
फायदा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है इससे।
कलम से ज्यादा, तलवार से ज्यादा कलम में ताकत है। आप आज चित्र दिखा के बंद कर दोगे, यही भूल जाओगे। आप अपनी कलम को चलाएं।
मैंने वही बोला, ये कैमरा बंद हो जाएगा, हम चले जाएंगे यहाँ से। पर
ये क्या आप लोग से आते हैं? ठीक पूछ नहीं, हमने वो उससे
फायदा क्या होगा, हम ये पूछ रहे हैं।
फायदा तो कुछ नहीं होगा।
आप लोगों से बड़ा फायदा है, बहुत फायदा है। आप जो है ना, आप प्रेस्क्राइब करोगे, उनके ऊपर जो है दबाव डालोगे। अगर इसी तरीके से, हाँ, इतना
हम क्या बोले?
लिखे हुए हैं आप
आजाद हो।
सर आप मुझे बताएं हम क्या बोले?
बिल्कुल
नहीं, आप बताएं हम क्या बोले।
आवाज उठाओ, हमारे देश के साथ ये अन्याय। नौजवान देखो, 21 साल का
जी, तो मैं आपकी आवाज लेके जा रही हूँ ना।
हाँ तो कहो वहाँ खुली छूट दो। जब जनरल डायर का बदला हम लंदन में ले सका, ये तो पाकिस्तान है।
आपकी आवाज गई है।
हाँ
गई।
So
what we're going to do is, of course, emotions are running very high here. What we will do is we'll go across to my colleague Ilma, who earlier in the day did speak to Captain Kapil Kundu's mother. Listen in.
22 साल की उम्र में कैप्टन कपिल कुंडू ने अपने देश के लिए शहीद हो गए। हमारे साथ हैं उनकी बहन और उनकी माँ। कपिल की बर्थडे थी, थोड़े ही दिनों में वो दिल्ली आने वाले थे। आपकी उनसे जब बात हुई थी, वो क्या बता रहे थे?
कल ही मेरी बात हुई थी। कल उसने मुझे कॉल किया था, दिन में 1 बजे के करीब मेरी बात हुई थी। सब ठीक था उस टाइम तो, और आने के लिए उसने सरप्राइज़ रखा हुआ था और हम भी उसके लिए उसका बर्थडे सरप्राइज़ प्लान कर रहे थे। वो 10 को आने वाला था, 10 को उसका बर्थडे था।
जब वो आर्मी में भर्ती होना चाहते थे, वो आपको क्या बताते थे? वो देश के लिए शहीद हो गए, वो हमेशा से क्या आर्मी में ही ज्वाइन करना चाहते थे?
नहीं बेटा, मैं तो उसको IIT में भेजना चाहती थी, लेकिन हमने ये सोचा कि ले अपना तैयारी कर रहा है, उसने NDA का पेपर दिया, वो सिलेक्ट हो गया। उसने उसको अच्छा लगा, कहने लगा मम्मी मैं इस फील्ड में जाऊंगा। जाओ बेटा फील्ड में, कोई बात नहीं।
22 साल की उम्र में वो आर्मी में भर्ती हुए थे। आपको क्या बताते थे वो कश्मीर के बारे में?
कश्मीर के बारे में हमें नहीं बताते थे। वो मेरे से हर एक बात छुपा के रखता था कि कहीं मेरी मम्मी मतलब कमज़ोर दिल ना कर ले।
All right, so what we are expecting is that the mortal remains of Captain Kundu would be here at about 7:30. We'll continue getting our viewers the very latest. It's back to the studio. Over to Shiv.
Preeti, thanks very much for that very, very compelling live broadcast where we got all those voices there. I think what Preeti has just shown you from the Ransika village near Patodi is the emotions in a village. It's difficult to describe. When I have reported on the supreme sacrifices of soldiers, I've had a chance to visit villages of these kinds where entire communities come together to mourn. It's not just the family. There is pride, there is grief, and what that ground report has really shown you is the incredible coming together of a community to mourn the loss of an individual like the brave man you see on your screen right now. Barely a man. He was just 22 years old, 6 days shy of his 23rd birthday. And there's some breaking news coming in. Well, when there's martyrdom, when there is an incident of this kind on the line of control concerning Pakistan, expect the ugly politics to take place. This time over the deaths of our soldiers and officers. The Congress has apparently resorted to some pretty petty politics. Senior leader Ghulam Nabi Azad has accused the Modi government of a weak policy against Pakistan and says the ceasefire violation has been highest in its rate during the NDA regime. The death of a civilian, Jawans and young officers show that the government is the weakest that Indian government has ever had in the last 70 years. This scathing attack coming from senior leader and member of parliament Ghulam Nabi Azad in the first major attack today by the Congress party on the issue of the deaths of these soldiers. Ghulam Nabi Azad, former union minister of said, has talked about how the deaths of Jawans has been the highest during the NDA regime under Prime Minister Modi, and that this is a symptom and a consequence of a weak and variable policy as far as Pakistan is concerned. Here's what Ghulam Nabi Azad of the Congress has just said.
सबसे ज्यादा सीज फायर वाली इतने छोटे से समय में वार को छोड़कर, लड़ाई को छोड़कर सबसे ज्यादा फौजी अगर मरे हैं, सबसे बॉर्डर के सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के लोग मरे, वो इस वक्त मरे। सबसे ज्यादा लड़ाई के युद्ध के मैदान में छोड़िए, सबसे ज्यादा अगर सिविलियन मरे हैं तो इन 3 सालों में मरे हैं, चाहे वो कश्मीर के जाओ या जम्मू। 4 ही परसों ही अभी कुछ और मरे, मेजर मरते, कैप्टन मरते, कर्नल मरते। मान लीजिए ये सरकार भूल गई।
Big political attack. National Affairs editor Rahul Srivastav in on this breaking story. The politics over the deaths of these soldiers and officers in the line of control continuing and in a pretty fierce manner on expected lines, Rahul.
Yes, Shiv, what we can say is that the debate over the presidency will be addressed to the joint session of Parliament and subsequent agendas in Parliament. It seems because of the coming 8 elections in assemblies and the Lok Sabha election 2019, it seems that almost any issue where Parliament needs to be presenting a picture of consensus and cohesion is going to witness this kind of political sparring. And I think all issues are going to turn into political campaign. Today was perhaps the need of the opposition and the government coming together, sending out a message of unity to Pakistan and also a strong condemnation of the kind of activities and flare-ups at the border, which has not happened. While Amit Shah, the BJP president, in his maiden speech in the upper house of Parliament, took nearly 1 hour 15 minutes to extol all the virtues of what the government has achieved and attack the governments in the past. Now the opposition is targeting the government on an issue like the deaths of this thing. And deaths of soldiers
Yes.
at the border. Now, this is a serious issue. The issue is serious because what it seems that Pakistan is trying to push.
India has lodged a protest with Pakistan against the killing of those 4 Indian army men in that Pakistan ceasefire violation. India's Deputy High Commissioner in Islamabad, JP Singh, has lodged a protest with Pakistan's Foreign Office over the ceasefire violation that led directly to the deaths of 3 soldiers and 1 young officer, just 22 years old. Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan breaking the story first here on India Today. Once again, a protest has been lodged diplomatically. Geeta, take us through the process. What happens next?
Well, what really has happened in so many months now, Shiv, is that we have been lodging protest after protest with regards to the ceasefire violations. When it comes to really taking some stern action and seeing that Pakistan does not repeat the kind of actions, we've not seen much, only because we're looking at a very hot LOC right now. We've lost soldiers, and while our own DCM, JP Singh, the Deputy Chief of Mission in Islamabad, was being summoned in the Pak Foreign Office for, according to Pakistan, unprovoked ceasefire violations by India, India in response gave a note verbal, a démarche to the Pakistani Foreign Office saying that it's not India, it's Pakistan that has been violating ceasefire agreement between India and Pakistan, despite not just what India says, despite the stern and a very tough voice or tough voices shift that we've seen from the international community as well with regards to a very hot LOC. But despite that, the unprovoked ceasefire violations continue from the Pakistani end, and JP Singh, the Deputy Chief of Mission, has lodged a formal protest with the Pakistani Foreign Office.
Okay, we've seen the protest being lodged. We've seen the opposition make a big political attack on the government. We're yet to see what the government has to say in terms of laying out the contours of whether this is going to be business as usual or whether something's going to give. Geeta, thanks very much for getting us that breaking story.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.